It's Ask Dr. Ben. I'm going to try to answer your COVID 19 questions. I'm a coronavirus researcher. Yeah. Okay, next question comes from Jonah, age 10, in Hampshire, England. Hi, Jonah. Okay, Jonah wonders how did the coronavirus start, and could more viruses start the same way? Good questions. All right, so you're not going to like the answer, but it's also not as bad as it's going to seem at first. So the answer is that the virus started out in an animal, and it turns out that every kind of animal has its own viruses, just like we do. So there's maybe 300 different kinds. That's a rough estimate for every kind of animal that's out there. And that's everything. Every zoo animal, every animal that lives out in a field or a forest, and us. And so occasionally one of these is close enough, one of these viruses is just close enough that they can just barely go from one animal to another animal. Usually they stay in the animals where they start out. So mostly when your cat or your dog gets sick, you're not going to get sick. But occasionally, rarely, 1 in a billion chance, you're going to have a virus that actually jumps from one to another. And so we know that this coronavirus belongs to a family of things that are called SARS-related coronaviruses, or severe acute respiratory syndrome-related coronaviruses. There we go. That's the full name. And these all come from bats, and they all come from bats that live in mostly in Asia, but there are some over in Africa as well. And the bats are pretty widespread, and they have a lot of different viruses. I mean, for the most part, we're just starting to learn about all the different viruses they have. And it's not that bats specifically are out to get us. They're definitely not. But there are a lot of different kinds of bats out there, and we kind of don't realize that they're around. I mean, they fly around at night while we're sleeping, or while we're supposed to be sleeping. And mostly go unnoticed, but occasionally one of their viruses comes out. So there are a lot of viruses that are similar, and most of these that we've found in bats so far have not yet caused any sort of outbreak in humans. So they're all called SARS-related coronaviruses because they're all related to the SARS coronavirus. Genetically, that's just what they are, and so that's what we have to call them. But that doesn't mean they're going to cause disease. Now, scientists have just started looking at this. There was a paper published last month where they actually tried this out. They got some proteins from each of these viruses and tried to see whether or not they could go into human cells. There were a few that seemed to be able to. But most of them did not seem to be able to work in human cells, and that's great. These will be just bat viruses, but the other ones are going to be things that we need to watch in the future. So just because these viruses occasionally jump from animals into people doesn't mean we have to have another outbreak like this one. Things like this only happen when the first cases are not caught and are not dealt with properly. So as long as we catch those first couple of people and give them really nice hospital care and keep them away from everybody else until they are better, then this virus will not spread, and these are very rare events that just occasionally happen. And so this is something that we can very much deal with, and I think you're going to see better and better responses. We've been getting better at this. We've been doing this for a lot of years, and we've still got a little improvement to do, but hopefully we are going to continue to get better. So thanks. That was a great question.